Well, good morning. Yesterday we did a little bit of brickwork, not a ton because it was starting to get hot. Well, good morning, dogs. Yes, good morning, Marge. Let's go outside and I'll show you. You guys can stay inside. We don't need you doing everything that we're doing at the same time. Anyway, so I'll show you what we got done yesterday. We did a little bit of the brick, and my system is working pretty well. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using the sledge to bump out a section, which then creates enough space here so that I can pull up each of the bricks in a row. Because if there is no space, it's very difficult to take out one of the bricks. They're pinched in really tightly, and then there's sand that's in between them so that it literally makes it almost impossible to pull one of these things out without damaging the brick. So the strategy seems to work for me is I leave a little tail, like you can see right there, and then I punch it out with the sledge. When I do that, it creates a little gap. You can see a little gap right there. That gives me enough leverage to get and pop this brick out very easily. So here, I'll just show you real quick. We have a little bit of a gap here now, and so that's enough pressure release that I can take. Oh, here we gotta get the bricks out of the way. But I can take this and pull one of the bricks out. And then once that's out, the rest of these come very easily. But you'll see here, like on this one, on one of these, it is very difficult to get one of the bricks out because they're all sandwiched in. So what I do is I just grab the sledge and we go right to the edge of this one and basically just knock it like this. And then that will break one of the seams, but then you can see here, it's loosened this brick, so now this brick can come out. And then all of these will follow. So that's been my strategy, and that's to get them all the way down to the end there. Unfortunately, we're hitting a little bit of another pressure from this side. Not pressure, but like this is giving pressure to this, that. So, but it's not enough because usually the ones that are like really sandwiched in there are the ones that have corners cut, and I'm gonna do those at the very end and come the opposite direction. So you can see here I stopped here, so then I'll grab these and come that way. But anyway, so that's what we did yesterday, but I kind of had to stop a little early because, man, it got so hot. It was like 85 degrees yesterday, which is crazy. So I set up a awning out here because it was just so hot. So this is the awning, and now I can work here and I'm not getting burned up by the sun. I'm gonna start working on the brick this morning just so that I can beat the heat a little bit. And then the other things that I need to do are, I need to do some work on the garage, and I need to do some editing of our videos. The workflow that I have so far that seems to be pretty effective is I film almost every day. I then have like an archive of all of the footage for like the week. And then I go and I organize it in folders, and then I'll go through and I'll start editing all of the footage for the week so that I can upload them on a regular schedule. And yeah, that seems to be working. So the other thing that I have to do, which is when it gets really hot, is I also am started working on the garage again. We just, after the fires, we had all these totes that I had taken out. And then I've pulled out a bunch of like camping stuff. I have things that I want to sell or give away. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be organized. That's one of the things that I'm going to probably do today as well, just depending on the temperature and all that kind of stuff, but we need to get that done. So we've got bricks in the morning, we've got that, we've got some editing. The other thing I'm super happy that I got taken care of, which has been like in between, is, we have this whole Lego shelf thing, and it's all open, so dust can just settle. I mean, luckily our house is not that dusty. We vacuum and clean it a lot, considering we have two big fluffs. But every once in a while we have to vacuum. And so what I did was I pull each of them out of the shelves, and then I use a special attachment to our Dyson that lets me vacuum all of the Legos. So all the Legos are cleaned all the way up to the top shelf. I still have to do the top shelf. But yeah, I mean, it works really well. And then we clean off the glass. This side's mirror, the side's glass. But then that way I can show all the Legos. And maybe we'll do like a Lego video one time, if you guys are interested. Write a comment like, if you see this part of the video, hey, I'm interested in Legos. And then maybe we'll do like a deep dive into Lego stuff. So yeah, anyway, so I was able to clean the shelf, which is like a real pain in the butt. And then I think what I want to do also over here is I want to build a wall shelf or something. I don't know. I have lots of plans. It's just a matter of what we end up doing, because we want to redo the kitchen also. And I want to make sure that if we are doing the kitchen, we might do the family room area as well. And if we do that, I might change the layout. It's complicated. Anyway, I know this is completely off topic, but that's what is going on for today. And yeah, I'll check back with you soon. Oh, there's Marge laying in her sand pile again. Goof. What a goof. All right, so let's get pushing on some more brickage. Today, I'd like to get at least the first pallet done. So that's about 400 or so bricks. So that's my goal today. I don't know that I'll show that whole process just because that's a little bit boring, but at least we'll start it and you can see kind of what I'm doing for that. So by now, we're about, I don't know, what, 5 videos in? Maybe more to this whole backyard project. So what do you guys think about this? Do you like this? Watching me do work like this? Do we prefer the short videos that are just kind of like fast and to the point? I like making these videos. I think they're entertaining to make, and I don't know, I find myself watching this type of thing from other people's content, so just curious what your thoughts are on this. Actually, I'm gonna set up the GoPro, or not the GoPro, set up my other camera and film from there. So we'll have 2 angles. I kind of like that system better. And record. All right, so we need to bust this side a little bit more. So, like that, and let's move this chunk out of the way, and move that chunk out of the way. That's pretty loose already, so that's good. And then we'll pull all of those up. Here we go. I need to figure out how I'm going to do this one over here, actually, because this is starting to get tight right here. So I need to do like the same thing where I bust it out this way. I wonder if this little guy's cemented in. Maybe he's not. Oh, nice. Oh, all right, that'll help a lot. Yeah, that'll help. Okay. Let's move these guys over. Pull up these that have a corner cut. And now these are regular. So, perfect. We can at least take down this whole line, and then so we get to here, we'll do the same thing. Break up that corner. Excellent. Perfect. So, we can start with this guy. All right, so this is what I usually do. Just makes it easier. Hook all of these. Put my chair and dust them off. Okay. So, what do you guys think of this new format of doing these kind of like longer build videos where show more of like the work being done as opposed to like just quick videos? And actually, here's another question, which apparently some fairly polarizing opinions about. Do you guys like watching time lapses of work? Like, is that entertaining to you, seeing, you know, sped up footage? I don't know. I've always liked time lapses, but apparently some people don't really like it. Like they just prefer more of the, you know, one-on-one kind of talking than they do time lapses with music and stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of nice to have a blend between the two styles, right? And I feel like if I'm just talking the whole time, it can get kind of boring. Unless I have like a story to tell you, like about my dad's back pillow. Let's see, do I have any other build stories to tell today? I don't think so, not off the top of my head. I know we are planning we're planning some summer trips. That should be exciting. We've got a plan to do Kings Canyon, which we did last year. If you guys haven't been to Kings Canyon, it's in the Sequoia National Park, which is one of California's national parks. It's up north near Yosemite. Takes probably like 5-6 hours or so to get there. You know, longer with kids as always, but it's a beautiful park. And one of my good friends, who has been going there since he was a kid, invited Amanda and I to go before we moved to Hawaii. So I think we went the first time maybe, 6 years in Hawaii, 2 years we've been back, and then we went for a few years before that, so probably close to 10 years ago we went for the first time with him, maybe longer. And we went when actually none of us had kids, and it's super nice. It's peaceful. It's a little bit of a trek to get there, but it's worth it. And in the end, you know, once you get there, you forget about how long it took you to get there. But yeah, we're thinking about going to Kings Canyon, or we're going to go to Kings Canyon this year again. And then we have some other trips that we have planned, camping trips, that is. There's a few like travel trips we want to take. We're planning on doing a summer trip to Minnesota. Actually, I never showed you guys. I filmed a whole bunch of travel footage when we went to go visit my mom at Christmas time in Minnesota. I mean, I filmed like here and there. It wasn't like I wasn't like consistently thinking about what I was doing. It was more just like clips. But I don't know, I think people like seeing different areas. So maybe I'll include a travel vlog or something of us going to Minnesota in the summer. The kids want to go again. Ben and I have been quite a few times, but Olivia's only been the one time in the winter. Same with Amanda. And places like that are so different in the summer as they are in the winter. So I thought it would be nice to go there, see my mom and my sister, and then we can also film it. So that's one of our summer trips. We want to make it back to Hawaii. We haven't been since we moved back, and I know the kids really miss it, and we miss seeing all the relatives out there. So we're also trying to see if there's a time, maybe this summer or soon, that we can go visit all the family, and definitely take you guys along for that. so you can see. Maybe we'll go to our old house. You can see where we used to live. We lived in Hawaii for 6 years. All right. My sunshade is not in effect yet, so that'll slide. Let's move it. Sorry. Bush. There you go, that's good enough. All right. Almost done with this row. There we go. That should work. All right. Let's go get another 50. Oh, hello, dogs. What? What do you want? Mwah! Kisses. Yes, hi. Okay, you're right in my working space, ma'am. You're right in my working space. Marge. Did you want kisses too, Marge? Come here. Come here. What are you doing? Why are you being shy? Oh, is it scary? Are the tools scary? Why are you scared? You have no reason to be scared. Nothing has ever happened to you in your whole life. You've been babied your entire life. Mwah! There. Better? Okay. Would you give me a kiss? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay. We'll go inside in a little bit when it gets a little hotter, guys. And you got water, so you're fine. Okay? So another camping trip that we want to do is Yosemite. I, as a kid, always went to Yosemite with my dad. That was one of his favorite places. And our kids have never been there. So it is about time we go. I used to go quite a bit. Also later, like not when I was a kid, but as an adult, my dad used to coordinate with his friend, Dale, in Berkeley. Dale is a big hiker also, and Dale and Ann, and he would coordinate with Dale back when you couldn't reserve camping spaces on the internet. You did it via phone. So my dad and Dale would have multiple phones out in the wee hours, and they would coordinate getting camping spots. Now, by that time, they weren't really camping in tents. At least my dad always liked camping in tents, but the other people that went with them, my stepmom and others, they didn't really like to camp in tents. So they reserved these lodges, and they're like little, like yurt kind of glamping setup. It is definitely not roughing it when it comes to camping. You don't have to bring anything really. You don't have to bring like tents or supplies, that kind of stuff. But anyway, they used to reserve those, and we went for quite a few years. But the point of the story is my dad passed away a few years ago, as we've discussed on this channel in brief. But I have all of his ashes, and we brought some of his ashes to the tide pools in San Pedro, where he used to love to go walking, and where my sister and I would play as kids. We did that early on, but we have been wanting to visit Yosemite and go to Tuolumne Meadows, where we used to camp, as well as Tenaya Lake. There's a great old photo of me and my dad when we were in Tenaya Lake. I'll put it on screen if I can find it. But yeah, we used to go there, so we've been thinking about planning a trip to go back to Yosemite and, you know, maybe sprinkle some of Dad and Tenaya Lake or the area. But yeah, that is a trip that we have been thinking about for a while also. So perhaps when we do that, I will take you along for that one as well, because Yosemite is a beautiful place. And if you have never been, it is a must visit at one point in your life. Most of the national parks are. Like I said, I was very fortunate that my dad liked to camp a lot, because we got to do some pretty neat trips. You know, in hindsight, I realized my sister and I probably were not the most chill about doing it, but yeah, we did one like national park tour where we put everything in my dad's Volvo station wagon, and we had the canoe on the roof stuffed with stuff inside, and we went to Yellowstone, Yosemite, a bunch of different places. That was quite a trip. I think my sister and I were a little bit, you know, bored of being in a car for that long. This is pre-iPad days, pre-phone, pre-tablet. This was just, you look out your window or sing songs or play some I Spy games. You know, I would get car sick, so definitely was not reading any books or anything. But yeah, we would go on some family excursions with my dad. So we've got to pay it forward, got to pass along the tradition and take Benjamin and Olivia on those trips, because I sure look back fondly at those camping trips, you know, and hopefully they will also. Okay. I think we'll do one more row, and then we'll take this next set. And I think what I'll do is I'll put this bugger on a time-lapse mode, so you can see me finish off the rest of this in fast mode. Morning. We are going to try and get the rest of this brick out today. That is my goal. I have this little section right here, and then the rest of that to there. So we're going to pop time lapse, and then yeah, we're just going to try and tackle it. So let's see. We're digging out more bricks this morning, and I'm doing the pathway that's right along the house, by the thing. Check out the size Hey, I found a water line, which is nice. Found one of the sprinkler lines. But look at the size of this root right here. And it is not alone. Like it is a thickums down here, and then it goes here, and then it branched off right here. That's what was busting up the clunk, or the thing right here. And it goes all the way that way. It's like, look at this. See, there's more of it. And there's more. So this is huge roots, and it's still alive. So I'm wondering what it was coming off of. And the only thing I can think of, because like the orange trees way down there, the roots wouldn't be this thick. Avocado trees way over there, roots wouldn't be that thick. There's this tree, which is still semi-alive, but I don't think these are the roots from him. I'm wondering if it's the roots from this giant, giant tree that's next to us in our neighbor's yard. And maybe they're just coming underneath the ground and just coming through here. So, yeah, that's pretty wild. Anyway, we're gonna have to chop this guy up and rip him out, but yeah, pretty gnarly. This guy's working like crazy, huh? So fast. How did you get to be so fast? Well. Marge is what? Big caboose on the loose? That's not you? You want to help me stack some bricks? Why? Why? You got bricking to do. Yeah. Brick it up. Brick it good. Dun 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 dun. When a brick comes along, you must brick it.
I forgot my hat here.
Okay.
For my rent.
Okay.
But guess what there was in the car?
I don't know.
Olivia's bald hat.
Oh yeah, and that would fit fine because you have a micro head.